Welcome to Throwback Thursday. On this show, we had our favorite guests give us their best backpacking tips in celebration of episode number 200. Have a great week and God bless everybody.
200 Backpacking and Blisters family. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man in all of Outdooramania? Let's go with it. All of Outdooramania who still rubs scat on his teeth because he thinks it'll keep the bugs away. And it's keeping everybody else away, I'll tell you that. But Carl Mandrioli is here. 200.
That's right. 200, man. Derek Somerville.
Wow.
My co-host is the guy that thinks the band Food Fighters wastes all their leftovers.
Food Fighters, really? That's like an insult to the Foo Fighters.
Is it?
I'm appalled.
Well, I apologize. They're probably listening too, so I apologize.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, actually, it's funny you say that about keeping people away because our most recent trip definitely kept people away. I don't think it was from the scat on my teeth though.
No, you still doing that though, huh? Are you nervous tonight? You seem a little nervous for the 200.
Yeah. Always nervous talking to you. I'm just trying to please you, so that makes sense. No, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
Not nervous. I'm excited, man. We got all sorts of voices that we're going to be including in our show.
Indeed.
We reached out to all of our favorite guests. I asked the Patreon folk who they wanted to hear from, and so we got some of the best tips from lots of different folks, and we've got some people popping on our show just kind of randomly, and we'll see how that goes.
We will see how that goes. I'm excited.
It's kind of like a radio show tonight.
It is kind of like a radio show. It's got the energy flowing already, so we'll see how it goes. There's really no script. We're just gonna hash it out with some of these legends and have some fun.
So if I told you that we were going to get to 200 episodes before we started, would you have believed it?
I would have said, "Ha, nay."
Really?
No. You don't really think about it, honestly. You just start doing it. You're having fun with it, and before you know it, you're like, "Whoa, there's 100." That wasn't.
I know.
Okay, that was quick.
You don't think about like long-term goals. You just kind of go. Is what you're saying.
Round and round we go. 200 episodes in.
That's right.
Don't worry, I'll get some revenge drink trivia tonight, so it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, that's right. I purposely gave you trivia tonight to celebrate because I know it's going to be terrible.
What are you talking about? Your performance has usually been terrible with trivia.
Yeah, that's
past
what it is.
Season. Yeah,
My
that's
mistake.
what everybody's. Yeah, your mistake. Exactly, your mistake. No, This is a good one. This will test your knowledge of backpacking and blisters. It'll be great.
Okay. I told Derek basically the trivia topic, since we're kind of all over the place today, could be about absolutely anything. So we'll see.
And I took that and I ran with it.
Did you? Okay.
No, it's good. It'll be.
Did you know? Speaking of 200, did you know that number 200 comes up a few times in the Bible?
Does it? Do tell.
Yeah. Any guesses as to what it represents?
I'm used to hearing like numbers like 3 and 7 and
right. Those
300.
are more common. 40.
40, 300.
Yeah.
Not
300.
It was the Gideon had the 300 guys killed the.
But is that? Can you think of another example? Like I think of the repetitive numbers.
Okay.
That you just mentioned.
Well, I'm not remembering 200 very well. Remind me. 200.
No, it's not very common, but it does repeat a few times.
Okay.
But you were talking about like 3 and 7. Like there's a lot of those. There's a lot of 40s.
Yes.
So that's why when you said 300, I wasn't sure of.
You going to tell us about 200 or are you going to keep us waiting?
I was doing some research and what it's supposed to represent is insufficiency, actually. So you can make the case that maybe 200 is just not going to be enough episodes for us. So we'll see. But I got one example, 2 Samuel 14:26. This is referring to Absalom, King David's son, who was not a very good son and his father.
He's a bad guy. Mm-hmm.
So whenever Absalom, cut the hair of his head, he used to cut the hair once a year because it became too heavy for him. He would weigh it, and its weight was 200 shekels by the royal standard, which translates now to about 5 pounds. Can you imagine 5 pounds of hair on your head?
5 pounds of hair. How much hair is that? Every year?
He would cut it once a year, and he'd grow 5 pounds of hair a year, basically.
He must have had the most luscious, set of locks.
Yeah, thick hair.
In the realm.
Probably greasy, let's be honest. Yeah.
Oh, for sure greasy. There's a little dirt in there.
Little dirt.
You're out there in the wilderness.
So what could possibly go wrong with a 5 pound head of hair? So I don't know if you know the Absalom story, but eventually when King David was after him, he got his hair stuck in a tree while his mule was riding, and his mule just kept on riding. So he ended up hanging by his hair in a very vulnerable position, and then it didn't end well for him. Yeah. Anyways, that's 200 shekels of weight on your head. Derek, are your pajama pants Absalom's hair of the modern age?
I don't even know how to answer that. That is, you took a while to probably drum up that question.
Probably.
Are they the Absalom hair of do I have 5 pound? I have 5 pound pajama pants, and I get them caught frequently.
No, you don't. I know you don't have 5 pound pajama pants. I'm just imagining you're adding things like that to your pack that's going to add up to 5 pounds.
Oh, is that where you're going with that?
You get the slippers.
I see where you're going now with it. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That was a really roundabout, awkward way, but I'm back. I'm with you. Next year, do I bring the Crocs? Do I bring the socks? I don't know. Probably not. There's some things that just will never be, but the slippers and or the pajama pants are here to stay, and that's fine. So we all have our luxury items, Carl. We all have our luxury items. You have your...
That being said, I don't know that 5 pounds of hair on your head is a luxury item. I think that if that's you, if you have just a ton of hair that way, you can literally shave weight.
Literally shave weight. That's true. That's a great point. I wonder if it included like body hair too, though. Did he shave like back hair? Like, you know what I mean? Or was it just head hair?
Yeah.
Is it head hair?
I don't know.
That's how the story reads. All right.
That's a good question. Good question. All right, enough about the hair thing. Let's get to it. So who do you want to hear from first?
All right. Why don't we start with Shug? Good old Shug.
All right. So we reached out to, like I said, our favorite folks, and here's what Shug had to say.
Carl, Derek, my name is Shug. I've been on your podcast and I enjoyed it. I'd like to call you up here and congratulate you on that 200th episode. Boy, are you guys a couple of lollygaggers and slackers. 200 episodes of chatting to people about backpacking. Wow. Okay, so a couple of tips about backpacking. I'm no know-it-all. It kind of runs in my family that we think we are. But as far as backpacking goes, since your podcast is called Backpacking in Blisters, if you tend to get blisters and you know you're going to get one, whether you got new boots or not, get yourself some Leuko tape, Leuko, and the word tape. Leuko tape. I get mine on Amazon, and it's a really sticky tape, and you can just strap a couple of people up. Rewind. You can strap a couple of pieces. Rewind again. You can tape a couple of pieces on the back of your heel or on your toes or whatever. The stuff has great hold, and you won't get the blister that you're going to worry about possibly getting. That's tip number one. My other tip is just, don't put off taking a trip even if it's 24 hours. Keep some camping gear out where you can see it. It'd be like where you keep your fishing rod or your golf clubs. You see them, and it makes you want to go. Talk the trip up to everybody, your family. Tell them how much you're looking forward to going. And by the time you go, they'll be so happy that you're gone and you're not talking about it. That's one of my techniques. So just keep talking about the trip. Talk about it and talk about it ad infinitum. And then just go. And if you're a new backpacker, don't worry about what you do wrong. Make a couple of notes on it, but also make notes on what you do right. So, woo, buddy! Congratulations, guys. 200 episodes. That's pretty dead-gum impressive. Shug signing out, all secure in Sector 7.
All right, so he gave us some entertainment right there. That was like an entertaining message, but he also gave some tips. What was your reaction?
I love the rewind, because I feel like that a lot where I need to rewind what I said.
I might take that one. I might steal that.
The blister tape, the blister tape sounded like a great idea. I might try some of that on like maybe a heel or two. We'll see how that goes. That's interesting.
Wait a second. Are you getting blisters still?
No, but I feel like it. I feel like it would just make the walk smoother. Sometimes if you just I don't know. I'm just up for trying new things to be more comfortable. Maybe it'll add some comfort. I don't know.
So you're not getting blisters, but you want to tape up anyway, is what you're saying?
I got a blister on my heel 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. And I was like, no, I haven't got one since, so I'm not like worried about it. But
so he mentioned the Leuko tape specifically is what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's a pretty common thing to have as a blister prevention and other things on the trail. But what's interesting is a conversation I had with some folks recently. It seems like when I go with experienced backpackers, nobody's getting major blisters. They might get like a little one by their toe, but nothing that's, debilitating.
Right.
Anytime I go with brand new backpackers, like everybody's getting blisters and a lot of them. Isn't that crazy?
Really? Yeah, it's like nonstop.
And I just wonder if it's like foot conditioning, because I feel like I know my shoes well enough. If you said, Carl, I want you to wear those shoes out of the box on a backpacking trip, like literally take them out of the box fresh and start backpacking, I don't think I'm getting major blisters.
No. I mean, no, I think I took my new shoes and I kind of got one, but not really. I think it's just, I don't know. I think the footwear, like the socks are huge, but I think some people just might have like more susceptible feet. And I think a lot of it might have to do with like how you walk too sometimes. And how your feet are rubbing. Do you walk on like some people if you watch their walking gait, like they might roll their foot a little bit and walk, put a lot more pressure on their smaller toes. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people do when they walk. So
you're examining people's walking gaits and pressure points.
Well, yes, actually, when I was an actor, we had to do that, and you had to practice that and to get into character. So yeah, I have a tendency to watch that. Kind of strange.
Gotcha. And you feel like your walking gait through like Costco and on carpet is sufficient to prevent blisters most of the time?
I feel like your gait has some problems, and we should probably address it. But
even though I don't get blisters and I can wear shoes out of the box and probably not get any blisters,
I'm worried about you. Maybe it's too good. Is it? You can wear cotton socks in rain and not really get blisters, or something. You get like a hobbit feet. It's like total hobbit feet. So
my feet were soaked on the last trip for a long time, and it was all good. But yeah. Anyway,
I'm proud of you.
Just kind of interesting. I just wonder if it's foot conditioning is what it boils down to. But having some Leukotape along the way to prevent blisters that pop up, very wise idea. And then he talked about having a pack ready to go. So what was the?
Take a trip, even if it's 24 hours. I think that's cool. I think it's about like. Breaking up the monotony of life, getting out there, doing something, even if it's a day hike, even if it's
like Costco walk.
Like a Costco walk down by the beach, walk by a, grassy field, whatever you live by. I don't know. You live by some trees. I don't know, Okay. What do you like to do? You like to climb a tree here and there? Like, what do you do out there in the yard?
I think if you're talking about like backpacking, Shug is more willing than I am to go on a solo trip. So
yeah, what did you think about his input about like just keep talking about the trip until people make you go or want you to go?
Like enough about that. So I think that's good. I think his life structure is going to be, shockingly a lot different than mine. So
right.
It just depends.
Correct.
I'm sure as that's a great question. Because I'm processing that. I'm like, I have some really strong answers to that, but I got to hold my tongue. So what did you think about that?
I don't think that really is in my realm. I can't really. I just like, what am I going to tell my kids? Hey guys, I'm going backpacking.
Yeah.
You want me to keep talking about it? Like,
take care of yourselves.
They're like, Dad, get a grip. So,
I think it's good advice in general though. And he's in a different stage of life too, but
for sure. But I like the enthusiasm.
Yeah. Shug, we really appreciate it, man. Thanks for
kind words. Thank you. We'll see him for 300. Okay. Next.
Yeah. That's right. All right. And by the way, so Shug is, if you don't know who he is, he's got an entertaining YouTube channel. He is kind of the grand master of the hammock setup, and he'll take you through it if you want to get started with that. He's got all sorts of awesome videos for that. So check out Shug's YouTube channel. Sean Emery is his name. And all right, who do you want next?
All right, let's go with JK. Let's do JK.
JK. Okay, so I asked JK to give us his best backpacking tips, and here's what he had to say.
Hey guys, John Kelley here from the Backpacking Podcast. Just want to congratulate you guys on 200 episodes. What an incredible achievement. You guys are easily one of my favorite podcasts, and I consider it a joy to consider you guys my friends. I can't wait to see what the next 200 episodes are like, and I only hope that somehow you guys can get video and or photo evidence that Sasquatch really does exist. Congratulations, guys. Can't wait for the next episode.
So, not really any backpacking tips there.
JK, what's the deal? I love the kindness. The reality is nobody's going to be getting the footage of the Bigfoot, so you're going to be waiting another.
We already have footage. We have footage on our YouTube channel of a Bigfoot.
Right.
That's right. Olympic National Park.
Totally my bad.
Yeah, correct.
I think there's more chance of us getting better Bigfoot footage. There's like the same chance of that as of me buying like alien abduction insurance. So I don't think that's really gonna happen.
Wait, is that a thing?
That's a real thing. You didn't know that?
Is it really?
People buy alien abduction insurance.
How do you prove it though? Because people come back. They say they come back. They're like, "Here's my experience."
That's a great
and
question.
What do they insure? Like, are they insuring your time with a therapist afterwards?
You know where I read it? I read it in a National Geographic magazine. I was like, this is not real. But I'm like, National Geographic, like it's got to be real, right? And I'm like, people buy this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how you prove it. How do you make a claim?
Right.
You come back with like marks on your body? People are going to just take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, marks on your body. That looks like an alien mark right there. So
is that a probe? Is that a probe tip mark, sir?
Who's the adjuster for that? Like who has that job?
Great question. And how do you get qualified to do that job? Is my question.
I think I'm qualified just from having this podcast. So
that's probably true.
Anyway, so JK, so I'll give you some behind the scenes on this message he sent. So he sends the message and I listened to it and then I thought, maybe I didn't communicate well enough because did he think that I was just asking him to congratulate us for 200 episodes? Like, hey, JK, can you do me a favor? Please congratulate us.
Give us some props.
Right.
I need some props.
Right. So anyway, we just appreciate him taking the time. He's got a busy schedule. And so if you don't know him, John Kelley, he is part of the Backpacking Podcast. And we're going to have the Backpacking Podcast on our show. I'm shooting for October. So it's tougher because we got to schedule all four of us, and they had us on back in March, and their title was like Backpacking Podcast versus Backpacking and Blisters, but it wasn't really like a versus scenario, right?
It was more like we all enjoyed talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that for our show, we got to make it like a versus scenario.
I think we should.
Yeah, so we'll have some sort of competition. I feel like I'm going to unleash Derek's trivia upon them, and that will we'll win just from that, right?
And then I'll grade them like you do, and we'll be fun. It'll be full circle. It'll end up becoming Carl versus Derek somehow.
That's right. Anyway, so John Kelley also has a YouTube channel to check out as well. So
nice.
Thank you for that message. John. All right, next up, who do you want?
The Beck man. We're going back.
Dan Becker. Here are his tips.
What up, Carl? Dan Becker here, leaving you a voicemail because you need to know what some of the greatest backpacking tips are to enhance your backpacking experience. I've seen some of your videos, and trust me, you need help. Anyway, first off, actually two tips. One, you obviously want to watch Dan Becker on YouTube. I mean, isn't he just the greatest, teaching all of the greatest backpacking tips and showing you the greatest gear available? So make sure you do that. And then secondly, and a little bit more seriously, is to not be, if I was going to be actually giving you the greatest tip that I could think of, it would be to not be overconfident when you're backpacking. Don't put yourself in any situation that is going to cause danger to you or somebody else because you are just too overconfident. Maybe it's even in your gear, maybe it's in the weather, maybe it's over anticipating, your mileage and just thinking you're able to handle things. Dial it back a little bit, play it safe, and just realize that the outdoors is much bigger than you are. So hopefully that helps you out, and thanks for asking.
Okay. So I told him that we were going to promo his YouTube channel, the Dan Becker YouTube channel, like the most popular backpacking channel in the history of the world. But he still promoted himself, right?
So here's my tip. Maybe listen to the tip that we gave you about your tip, and then you won't give us the tip again. Is that a tip? There's my tip.
That's your tip. Okay. Yeah. Did you catch, though, that he was like, congratulations, Carl, and there was no Derek there?
Yeah, I got that slight, Daniel.
Do you think that was intentional?
Daniel, I think it was, and it was very...
Why do you think he would slight you?
I don't know. We maybe we need to get to the bottom of it. I don't know. Maybe because I think it was my grandma.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think grandma still offended him.
We had Dan on the show back in January, and we had a surprise caller, and here's how it went down. Ooh, Derek, we're actually getting a phone call right now in the middle of this interview.
Who's calling?
What's going on with this, Derek? Who is this? This is Grandma.
My grandma's calling?
Your grandma's calling, Derek, yeah.
My grandma's calling. Why is she calling? It's past her bedtime right now.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is this Grandma Suzanne?
What's going on, Grandma?
Hello, Carol. How are you? How's my little doodlebug doing?
We got Dan Becker with us. Do you have any gear questions for Dan?
Who's Van Pecker? Who's that? He's on the computer, I think, right?
Yes, he's on the.
All right. Well, Van, I have a question. What is a good backpack to use? Because I still get out on the trail sometimes. Back in my day, we would use a burlap sack and we'd throw curdled cheese and milk in there, and we'd try to be like Lewis and Clark. But now you kids today have all this fancy stuff on there. So, is there something you would recommend that I would use on a trail there, Van?
Wow. No, just don't go.
I think he's still mad about that, man.
I think maybe a tip is don't hold a grudge. How about that?
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I think the solution is obvious in my mind. It's the next time we have him on the show, Grandma's got to come back on, right?
I mean, clearly, Grandma's got to we got to solve this little riddle. Assuming she's still around. I don't know.
Grandma coming on tonight.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, we heard a watery voice from the distance. Who's that? Who's calling in
Who's
here?
underwater? Who's calling on? Is it Aquaman?
Yeah, this is Rocky.
Rocky.
There he is.
Whoa. Wow, voice just popping on the show. No phone or anything. Rocky, how's it going, man?
It's going really well, man. How are you guys doing?
We're thriving.
Good,
we're alive.
Good. Yeah. We want to get to your backpacking tips, but we're still talking about Dan Becker real quick, so you can weigh in. Dan's other tip about not overestimating yourself and I guess feeling overconfident. What was your thought on that, Derek?
My instant thought was, I felt like, were you overconfident? Is it just, he made a good point. Like, you don't want to get overconfident when you're going on the trail. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. Then I thought, is Carl overconfident when he puts sunscreen on his head thinking like he won't get sunburned? Like, because he's, it's a little thin up there. Like,
What you thought about?
Is it really necessary to put sunscreen on your head, or is it? I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah. Why would you not put sunscreen on your head if your hair is thinning?
I guess. Well, maybe I worded that wrong. Maybe you were overconfident to not put it on there. But you usually wear the hat anyway. So
right. Problem.
Thankfully, there's like the hole in the back of the hat. So do you wrestle with that when you get home? Like, ooh, there's that sunburn
like a
spot on the back of my head,
like a semicircle sunburn.
Why didn't I borrow Derek's sunscreen?
That's right.
And leave him the drink mix in return. So I don't know.
Why would it be Derek's sunscreen? Rocky brings about 3 canisters of sunscreen for each trip.
Could bring a sunscreen for a whole water polo team.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Honestly, I feel like I'm violating Dan's tip here because I'm pretty confident when it comes to wild animals, and so I'm around them a lot. And on our last trip, we were hiking down the trail, Grand Teton National Park, and we heard a rustling, like a loud rustling sound. And the two other guys were like, "Oh, is that a bear?" And then you saw the big rack come up out of the bushes, and it was just a large moose that was kind of paralleling us. And it was literally 5 yards away. And what did I do?
You saddled up like Legolas and took it for a ride.
Correct.
Yes.
No, I got out the camera.
I knew you would. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Did you try to feed him like some berries out of your hand or something?
I would have if I saw some berries, but
Did you say, "Come here, big boy, come here"? Like, what did you say? Did you say anything? Come here, Rudolph's dad.
I whistled and tried to get his attention.
You whistled.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Did you saddle him up when you were getting out the camera? Did you do the same thing at the same
that would be impressive.
That would be impressive. That's what Rocky would do. All right. Anyway, thanks to Dan Becker, man. We appreciate it. Check out his channel. He's full of all sorts of good tips and tricks and
thank you.
A lot of gear chat. So Dan Becker, YouTube, really appreciate it, my friend. And we're hoping to have him on this season as well.
Indeed.
So really all these guys we're going to have on this season. So, all right. Next up, we've got Rocky, who snuck in on us. And man.
Like a ninja.
All right, Rocky, what's going on, man?
Well, it's got to be a first. I don't know if I've ever snuck up on anybody. I'm usually too loud, but thanks.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Football's going on. Football Bible study's going on. The boys playing football's going on. My wife's got a headache going on.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I know. Poor thing. So
this is how good of a friend Rocky is like, this is the busiest season of life, and it sounds like in this busy season, other things are also going on in addition to that. And I said, but Rocky, man, you got to make episode 200, and he made it happen. So, man, we appreciate it.
Neglecting his wife for the episode, I mean, I don't know. Is there a treasure in heaven for that? I don't know. But
Probably not.
his wife will let us know in the morning. So
Right.
yeah, glad you're here.
We can get to it, man. We want to hear what you have for us. I know that a lot of times, I'm nervous that you're going to say like my backpacking tip is just like do whatever Carl says because you're so
scary.
Yeah, you defer to me in so many different areas as it relates to backpacking, but really, dude, you know a lot of stuff and you have a lot of experience. So, give us your first tip. What you got?
Okay, first tip is definitely like it comes from the fact that I bring a football, and I would say bring something that you really enjoy to the outdoors, like whatever that is. Like,
a sword, maybe a sword.
A sword is a great example. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially during a lightning storm. Bring a football, something like that, something that you really like. Bring games, fun type of stuff, but something that you really like because it seems to accentuate the moment. And one of the reasons why I'm saying this is because, no joke, the other day this popped into my head, and that was when Jared and I were throwing the football back and forth on the trail right at the end of the Yosemite trip in 2019, and this older gentleman goes, "Hey, you guys, hey."
I remember this.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. I remember that. That was hilarious.
But Derek, you were there, weren't you? Didn't you see it?
I remember that. Did he say go long or somebody go long or something?
Yeah, that's what it was. He was like, "Said, hey, go long." Or something that.
I remember that. That was magical. Yeah. It just came out of nowhere.
It totally did.
It came out
that
of
was
nowhere.
like similar to when we were hiking Maroon Bells and we saw a couple guys throwing a frisbee around, and same thing. Jared's into the frisbee. He's like, "Hey, throw it over to here," and then they threw it over to Jared, and then Jared threw it back to the guys, and it landed in the lake. That was awesome.
And he plays frisbee golf. He plays frisbee golf. I don't know.
Yeah, disc golf is what they call it these days. But yeah,
is that what they call it? The kids?
Yeah,
okay,
that's what they call. All right, so Rocky, I got to call you out on something. It's making me a little concerned for you. So Rocky is like he's got an amazing memory. There's things that he's corrected me on. Like I think I was poking fun at Derek one trip about something he said, but we actually captured on video. And I was like, Derek said such and such, and Rocky's like, no, he didn't. He actually said this. And then I'll go back and look at the video. And I'm like, man, Rocky really knew what he was talking about there, right? So, solid memory.
Oh, here comes the punch. Here comes the rub.
But then you just said that the Yosemite trip was in 2019, and it was not. Is your memory going? Are you getting old, Rocky?
Oh, wait. 2018?
Maybe he had the Rona and we didn't know it though. Maybe it affected.
I did have that for a couple weeks. Yeah, I dropped like 23 pounds last year.
Yeah, well we're
yeah, wow. But no, I like
skin and bones.
2018 is correct, my friend. 2018. Yep. Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right, that's a good tip right there. So you're basically what you're saying is bring not just a luxury item, because you could have a luxury item could be like a chair, but you're taking like a luxury item that's fun and maybe fun for all. That's going to really add a lot of flavor, add a lot of spice to the trip. I like that.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, okay.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. You got one more tip for us? You got anything else?
Sure do. I would definitely say this. You're out there in creation, right? I mean, what better place to really take time to sit to be with the Lord? Okay. So find that time, whatever it is. And like I'm getting this from actually something that happened just a few weeks ago. We were about to play our first game of the season. Let's see when that was. That was 4 weeks ago. We're about to play the first game of our season, and this does come back to backpacking. Don't worry. And
I'm glad you said that because Carl was thinking it.
I'm like, all right.
You got to anticipate Carl's moves, Derek. You got to.
That was solid. That was so solid.
So it was one of those that like game days, and then the day after the game. Both those days are super early mornings, super late nights, right? Just back to back.
I don't think it's coming back to backpacking. Go ahead.
No, it's coming back.
I'm rolling the dice.
No joke. No joke. And so it's about 5:50, kickoffs at 7. And I'm like, man, I got to get down to the field. Man, I got to get it down to the field. And I remembered that when we were on a trip, this would have been back in, I believe, 2010. You guys had already gone to sleep. Like it was kind of one of those nights.
Are you just real quick? Do you have like a little drum set next to you?
I think he's smashing the like button.
Okay. What's the banging? What's the banging, Rocky? You got the tambourine?
No, I'm tapping the table. I don't even know I'm tapping. Okay, so I hearkened back to this 2010 trip that we were on. You guys had gone to sleep. It was one of those nights where it was like, everybody was pretty tired. And I was tired too. And I remember going, dude, I got to get in the tent and go to sleep. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, I really don't. I could spend a little time with the Lord out here, right? So I did. So I just sat there on this rock, like right outside the tent. And I kind of look over. There's this lightning storm kind of off on the left. There's like something else going on the right. Like it wasn't like a meteor shower or anything like that, but there was definitely some shooting stars, a lot of planes, something just the night sky, and it just blew me away. And in that 5 or 10 minutes that I sat there, I got refreshed, right? So before the game, I go, I don't need to get down on the field right now. Like it would be good, but I really don't have to be down on the field till 6. So I'm walking towards the field, and I'm just looking for like that little getaway place to kind of get away. You know what I mean? Found it behind this portable. It was awesome. Sat there and talked to the Lord. Got a much clearer view.
Did the lightning strike the portable too?
No, it missed. I didn't have the sword, so it missed. It was a narrow miss, but
I think what you're trying to say is you're carve some quiet time out when you're out on the trail.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
And
That's
even if
it,
it's
Carl.
not
That's it.
a preferred time, but you guys got to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Don't miss those times, man, because that lightning storm and stuff like that, I think back to that sometimes when I get super busy, and I'm like, man, you know what? Like, we have a big God, and all this stuff that seems so big right now it's gonna get zapped by a lightning storm. So
That's huge.
Just real quick about the lightning storm. I'm not trying to take away. Like I'm with you on the tip for sure, but I mean, I don't know. We keep on talking about lightning. Derek's already mentioned the sword that you used to carry.
Right.
If we're hiking and you got the sword and the sword gets struck by lightning, would you say by the power of Grayskull?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's automatic.
And then turn into
You know what?
He-Man.
Yes. I would hope I would have the presence of mind to say that.
Rocky
yes.
kind of already is the He-Man, though. He's already carrying, crazy pack weight, and he doesn't need that. He doesn't need the lightning strike. So.
Yeah, he has like special superpowers. So let's talk about the third tip that he didn't want to talk about, but I'm going to bring it up. It's the power. Okay. It's the power of the black knee-high socks that he wears. And I think that is really the superpower to give him the speed that he has on the trail. Cotton knee-high black socks, no blisters.
Right.
What's the secret there? What's going on with that?
I think it's something where they just get the socks are closer to the knee. They give the knee better support. It's like having an extra ligament in there or something.
Extra ligament. I was like, where's he going with that? That's good. I like that. That's good. All right. Well, that makes sense. That's obviously a well-researched answer, and I appreciate it.
Last thought I had for you, Rocky. We went on a trip a couple months ago, and again, your pack is cresting 50 pounds, and you're throwing the bear canister in an area where bear canisters aren't required, for example. And I'm just wondering, like, what's the tipping point? Is there going to be a time where you just say to yourself, you know what?
Enough is enough?
I gotta really pay attention this year. I gotta cut down on the pack weight. I can't just go willy-nilly. I can't just find something in the pantry and throw the entire box or the glass container in. I've got to really focus.
Right.
Like, is that coming soon, or am I kind of premature here?
It's already happened, man.
The 6-pound chair, Carl. The 6-pound chair.
What about that?
What do you mean, what about that? When have you ever known Rocky to leave an item on the trail? 200 feet.
I mean, that's years ago, man. We're talking like moving forward.
This is forward. Only Rocky can answer that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's already happened. It really happened. I think it was right before the Yosemite trip where I was like, I am going to have a much lighter pack. Not the one that we went on in 2021, Carl. Not that one. That one I completely blew. That was just a disaster for me.
He went back up. He went back up to 50, 60. Look, I guess I'm trying to understand, like, does that mean you're instead of bringing like the whole block of cheese, you're just going like half a block of cheese?
That's
now?
what I've been doing. Yeah. I don't, my pack's
apparently not enough because your pack's still over 50 pounds, but
is it like honey packets instead of the bear jar of honey, or what is it?
No, it's not honey packets. But it's the small,
small bear jar.
The cub.
Yeah.
The cub.
Yeah.
The cub bar.
Okay. Whatever you're doing, I would say it sounds like you're making strides in that area, but it's not actually making a dent because your pack's still over 50 pounds. So we'll work on that together. But if you want to get serious, we can talk about.
Well, I was gonna say, man, I don't know. This might be a bit much. I don't know if we'd even have time, like literally.
Probably not, but let's hear it.
But would you guys want to do a pack shakedown for me?
Whoa.
Yes.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I don't know when that would be because you pack about 30 minutes before the trip, so we'd have to do kind of a live video.
If only the tortillas would stay fresh for that long, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. But maybe that's more of a video. I like that, man. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, if he did a pre-video, that's a good idea.
Honestly, if we just did like what's in Rocky's pack, that by itself would be entertaining. So,
what did he bring this year?
What's in Rocky's pack? Actually, that could be an episode. Mental
5-pound weight
notes.
or 10-pound weight?
Yeah. Actually,
What DVD? What DVD's in there?
Rocky, one sort of side note about this episode. One thing I was hoping for was that we were going to have you come on live with us as we're recording, and then I had lined up, I had Villain Jesse come on live, and I don't know if you can hear the background noise of my phone blowing up, but it's just not going to happen. I don't know if you guys are meant to meet. It says he's having some computer issues. He tried like a second computer. Villain Jesse's canceling on us for this episode, and he's bummed about it. We're bummed about it. So hopefully in the future you guys can meet, but it's not going to happen tonight.
Isn't that's what villains do, though?
Yeah, they sabotage relationships. You're right.
Sabotage.
So maybe that's intentional.
I know.
That's a good call, actually.
Jesse. Jesse
Yeah.
Ikes. Juice.
So, all right, Rocky. Well, thank you so much for joining the show, man. What's crazy about it is that, Derek and I have done all these episodes, and, you're still the most popular guy on our show. So I don't know how that works, but we can't win. We just can't win.
You guys are way too kind, man. I love you guys, man. Hey, and Derek, you know what? Wait, before I forget, Derek.
Yeah.
I think I came down way too hard on your trivia, man.
No, you did not. No, you did not.
No, let him continue. Okay.
I think I came down a little too hard on you for your trivia.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I apologize if I came across too harshly.
Well, I think I got some semi-revenge in episode 201 after this, so you'll have to stay tuned. It's not harsh, but it's you'll get a good laugh out of it.
Oh, I always get a good laugh out of you, man. You're my chia seed brother. Come on.
Carl mocked it, but it's a thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people that I know drink chia seed water.
Yeah, you don't know a lot of healthy people. You don't know healthy people, though. I guess.
Probably.
Except me and Rocky, I guess.
For sure.
All right, Rocky, man.
Rocky, that was awesome, man. Thank you.
All right, we really appreciate Rocky. Some good tips right there. And all right, next up, who do you want?
Let's go with one of my favorites, Jessica time.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica time. Jessica time. Jessica time.
Hey, Derek and Carl, I have a backpacking tip for your 200th episode. Congratulations. So my backpacking tip is bring a good pillow. Pay the money, get a good one. Good sleep makes happy hikers.
Jessica time.
Bring a good pillow. What do you think about that?
Yes, I bought a new pillow, and it's fabulous. I wonder, she's got a great podcast voice, I appreciate that about her. So,
okay. Well, if you think I should replace you with her, I can do that.
If I was to be replaced, it should be her. I'll just say that. She's Jessica time is Jessica time. Who doesn't want that?
Derek, what kind of pillow you got?
I bought myself a nice down pillow, and I have two inflatables. I have two inflatables I bring as well.
Are you stacking them up, or what are you doing?
Well, one of them is I like a little leg pillow, actually, as I get older. The hips, saves the hips. And then the other one's kind of helps me prop up my head a little bit, because sometimes I get a little sinus issues going on if you're tilted downhill or whatever. So I like to tilt the head up just slightly.
Got a lot of snot draining out of your face.
Sometimes you get a little snot, and it's really annoying. Yeah. So,
do you remember on our last trip that we actually we were really paying attention to how we set the tent up, and because it looked like it was level, but we thought there might have been kind of a weird angle to it, and so we set it up one way, and then as we laid down in the tent, we realized that it was angled downhill. And do you remember how we handled that?
Did we just flip around?
So it was already dark outside. We were so tired that rather than moving the tent around, unstaking it, doing all that stuff, we just shifted our bodies around, and so our heads were at the narrow end. Right.
That was so stupid.
I know, but it was better. It worked out. Oh my gosh!
Oh wow! Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I bought an REI pillow recently that's I don't know. It's got to be 8 ounces. It's incredibly heavy. It's thick, and it's definitely an improvement over the inflatables. But I just feel like I can't find the perfect one. Nothing quite replicates.
So hard. I know.
Yeah. So I'm getting better, but anyway. All right. So thank you to Jessica.
That was awesome.
That was great. And all right, next one we've got is we actually got Fake Ranger Eric checking in with us.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Hey guys, this is Fake Ranger Eric. Just calling to congratulate you on your 200th show, your 20th whatever show. That's amazing, guys. Don't forget, carry your weight in water. You can never have too many buff gators and make this world a better place. Congratulations, guys.
Okay, so Fake Ranger Eric, he said, what did he say? Carry your body weight in water?
So, was it pee? No. Carry your body weight in water. It was something weird. I was like, and then he congratulated us on the 20th episode or whatever.
You know, I just said, watch out for the Fake Rangers. They're everywhere. I actually had a serious run-in with a Fake Ranger on my last trip.
Well, do we have a name?
Yeah, I'll post the picture on Instagram at Backpacking Blisters Podcast. His name's Rush Songer.
Rush Songer.
Which is a great name.
Interesting.
And yeah, so he rolls up. We're literally, I want to say 75 yards from the end of the trail. Okay. So he rolls up, and he's a friendly guy. He's a very friendly guy. Yeah. And then I was kind of third in line, and the guy that was second, Nathan from Wisconsin, had the permit. You know how we talk about how you have to like display the permit in your backpack? Right. So he had it. And he saw Rush, and he's like, here's my permit. And he kind of flipped his backpack around to show him. So he's showing Rush the permit, and then they're having a chat, and I'm rolling up, and I'm like, Rush is not a ranger. He's got he's got the whole uniform on. He's got patches. He's got a name tag. That's how I know his name. He doesn't have the wide brim hat, but he had a hat on. He had the colors, the olive and this and that. Yep. And he was a volunteer.
Volunteer?
Yeah.
Isn't that's extremely deceptive, I feel like?
Yeah, I think it's intentional. So that was Grand Teton National Park. I think they did that so that they sort of like have pseudo ranger powers.
Is that kind of like when the police like plant a car somewhere and you think they're there, but it's just the car, and so you slow down?
Dude, that's a really good analogy. That's a really good analogy. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the same thing. Yeah. The difference is that he's not really a fake ranger. He's not just a hiker who's dressing up like a ranger. That was an actual uniform. But if you looked at it, you would think he's a ranger, and that's why Nathan showed him his permit. And so I bet that's not the only time it's happened.
And you called him out. You called him out?
I said, you're a fake
like,
ranger.
Rush.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, but I got a picture with him. So if you think about that, that's weird, right? To be like, hey, we just met. Can I have a picture with you?
I'm sure he loved it. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's reached out to us. I had my Backpacking Blister shirt on, so he took a picture of that, and he found us already, and it's super friendly guy. Nice. So I don't think he's a real fake ranger, but it was that's a lot of fun.
That's good stuff.
So we ran into another. So that was like 75 yards from the trailhead, and then we ran into another one in the parking lot as we're trying to like unpack. Yeah. And that was a different encounter. That guy was more talking at us and telling us all these stories, and I was like, I just want to throw my stuff in the bin and I'm gonna go eat some lunch.
Just want to go, bro.
So there you go. But thanks to Fake Ranger Eric. We really appreciate him and him coming on our show. And
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. And if you didn't see his video, we made a video with Fake Ranger Eric this year. Definitely worth checking out. It's on our YouTube channel.
Awesome.
And I think it's on our Facebook page too. So
yes.
All right. So thanks to everybody who was willing to play a role on our show and just make it fun. And we appreciate everybody that's been listening out there, our fellow adventurers. Whether it's been for one episode or for all 200 or beyond with all our Patreon episodes, we just really thank you so much. And we're going to continue to celebrate this with some trivia you got, right?
We got it. We got it. And we're going to do it right after this.
Do you struggle with joint pain, breathing at altitude, uneven terrain, or simple exhaustion? Then it's time to up your trail game, folks, with our good friend Rowan from Summit Strength. He's got a specialized program that will be just right for you to conquer your next adventure. Don't be left behind by the group again. Get your hands off your knees, get your butt off the log, and feel good getting after it with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. High-quality backpacking gear costs an arm and a leg these days, but it doesn't have to. If you're looking for durable, well-designed gear that you can trust, check out Teton. Teton Sports makes backpacks, tents, sleeping bags, and pads for your adventure needs, all at an affordable price. If you're new to backpacking or you've got broken down or worn out gear, check out Teton's lineup to get you back on the trail. Hike happy, camp cozy, sleep easy with Teton. All right, what you got? What's the name of your trivia?
Okay, we got 3. The name, I don't name my trivia like
I
that.
do.
I name my trivia. Oh, wow. Wow.
Therefore, mine is better.
And there we have it, folks. There we have it. I have 3 questions for you. This is about backpacking blisters. It's just let's see how much you're aware of. Let's just see how much you're aware of.
So you're marginalizing the audience here. Anybody who's new to the show is not going to know any of these answers. Is that correct?
Incorrect. No, I think incorrect.
Okay.
I think they have the ability to look these up.
Wait, what? So they're listening like they're driving to work. Pause. I'm going to do some research to find the answer and then listen again later.
Well, it's going to take a lot of time for them to find it, but I think they'll be able to do it.
All right.
All right.
And if you're new to the show, welcome to Derek's Trivia, everybody. This is not for everybody, apparently. So
you know what? This is what Carl...
That's what we aim to marginalize the audience.
Carl...
Go ahead.
Wow. When Carl doesn't know an answer, he puts everybody else down. Here we go.
I don't even know if I know the answer because you haven't asked me yet.
You're nervous. I can sense it. I can smell it. I can smell your nervousness.
I'm annoyed, but go ahead.
Man. We got 3 questions. Number 1. 2 of the questions are about fake ads. We didn't used to do fake ads, so I want to know what is your first fake ad. If you remember your own first fake ad, this is multiple choice.
Like 100 of these things.
This is
How do I know
multiple
what the
choice.
first one is? Okay. Oh, is it multiple choice?
This is multiple choice. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay, that's
no,
fair.
fill in the blank. No, that's ridiculous. Was it about dehydrated water? A. Was it about a wind stopper? B. Was it about my buddy? C. Or was it about D, the pants on fire lie detector? What was your first fake ad?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't A or C. I don't know what the wind stopper is, so it's pretty vague. So it could be that one. I'll go with that one. I'll go with the wind stopper.
It is wind stopper.
Okay.
It is wind stopper. I think you mentioned it was like a 25-pound shield that you put on your backpack or something absurd.
I gotta use that.
It was magical. All right, number 2.
That's a fun question.
You're
like
welcome.
that one.
All that mockery about trivia and marginalizing the audience, and then he liked it.
Yeah.
He liked it.
Yeah, I did. It's fun.
Okay, what was my first fake ad? Yours, by the way, was episode 112, if I got that correct.
Okay.
Mine, we skipped 113, we didn't do it, and then we came back to it. Mine was on episode 114. Don't look it up while we're doing this.
No, I'm not going to look it up. I just remember we started doing these, and then we didn't get a whole lot of feedback, and so...
It was like touch and go for a little bit.
If people liked them or not.
Touch
Yeah,
and
so we
go.
were like, should we keep doing these or not? And I think people... I still don't really know, but I think they're fun.
Yeah, okay. So was mine about sponge shoes? Was it about Trek Talk, the walkie-talkie? Was it about the pack saddle made of footprints and Nalgene bottles? Or was it about the shoulder screamer?
You did all those, right? Like all those are real.
Those are all real.
Real fake ads.
Real fake ads.
I'll go with letter A.
You looked it up.
No.
Sponge screamers.
No. I remembered a couple of them that were kind of later on. Once you kind of got into your groove. Yeah.
Pack saddle was later on. Shoulder screamer was
later on. I knew
those
two were later on. It was between A and the other one. So what was it? What was it called?
It was called the sponge shoes.
The sponge shoes.
The sponge
that's right.
shoes,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, good. That's 2. You're already past trivia. Good job. Okay. All right. Final question. In all of the titles that you titled all the episodes, how many times did the word backpacking or back or pack or something or backpacker get inserted?
Oh my gosh!
How many times was it inserted into a title? Was it around 20 times? Was it around 40 times, or was it 50 or more times that some combination of those words were used?
Yeah, what is it used like on a quarter of our episodes? I'm trying to think of some of the episode titles. It's got to be like 40-ish.
No, it is. That's my wrong sound, by the way. Really cool. It's around. It was about 20. 21. I think I counted 20. Yeah, I counted to like 21. It was like I counted like backpacking, backpackers, back. I think we had pack. and backpacker.
I mean, I would use hiking or adventurers, I guess sometimes, and sometimes it's not even about that at all. It's just about our guests. So it just depends. So.
True.
I would never guess it was that low. Actually, that's actually really low.
I thought it was like at least 40 or 50.
That's probably really bad for SEO optimization. So maybe that's why we're not better.
SEO. There you go. SEO optimization. Everybody's familiar with that term.
Business people are.
Business people, my bad. Sorry. That's all I got. You did good. You passed it, 66%, starting off the year strong with a D.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I'm proud of you. Well done.
We'll talk about where we're going to go with season 6 trivia next episode. I got some ideas. I'll run them by you next time. So
okay,
yeah.
Any tidbits for us before we head out? Episode 200.
We got some tidbits. I had to save some good tidbits for this episode, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Okay, so I got a comment from Ned on a recent episode, the one where we did kind of like the you be the judge for various scenarios, and he had a positive comment that kind of surprised me because we don't really get a lot of his feedback. He said that what he realized about our show that he liked was that we create a lot of these scenarios. We've done a few episodes where they're like what would you do in this case kind of thing. And then he says that he goes and kind of plays them out in his mind. So he actually questions himself like what he would do. And he says that in some circumstances, he's become more convinced that his perspective is right. And in some, we've actually changed his mind.
Really?
That surprised me because I feel like we're not changing anybody's mind on anything, especially the more you talk.
Oh, well, that's a toss-up, clearly. I mean, they see how fickle you are with your trivia and your answers and what you like and what you don't like, what you're grading. So I don't know. Maybe some of these nuggets land, and it's good to see that they do. So good.
So here's the key. Here's the crux. Maybe not the crux. Here's the best part of what he said. In terms of what he's changed, he says, "I've given up my buff, Nalgene, and tent ground cloth, to name a few."
Wow.
Whoa. Wow. That's target audience right there.
How
now
happy.
We're talking.
You just made Carl's too. It's all worth it. You made his whole 200th episode right here.
Correct. So thank you, Ned.
So happy.
We appreciate it. Yeah. That was a big time tidbit. We appreciate that. Just a quick shout out to a former student named Evan that listens to our show. He's been reaching out and telling me about how he still listens to our show, even though he hasn't been my student for quite a long time. It's been a few years. So appreciate that. I got a message actually right before we started recording. Somebody was asking about a Patreon trip. They wanted to do like a bring a kid kind of trip. And so he's trying to convince me, and he says, just so you know, Backpacking Magazine named us number 3 of the most influential outdoor podcasters for 2022. Whoa. That's an honor.
Who's number 1 and 2?
Probably podcasts that we think are worse than ours.
Probably. True.
I don't know. I don't even want to say.
That's hilarious.
I have no idea who'd be number 1 and number 2 in that fake magazine, but I just thought it was funny that somebody else is referencing that. So
yes.
Yeah. All right, I challenge you for the last tidbit.
Oh.
Can you tell me the last 2 Patreon bonus episodes we have?
Oh, jeez.
Like what they're about?
No, I don't even remember. It's too many. I don't recall. Was it one about?
I just shared them with you on.
There was a game that we had the game show. We had a game show.
Moocher's Mayhem. You were the one that named the game show. That was actually
Moocher. I did name that.
I designed the game show around the name that you came up with before it was designed. So well done with that.
I appreciate that, and I don't recall.
You were on this one, but I had a guest host with Jesse.
Oh, right. The co-host. Yeah.
There was like overpriced backpacking gear that struggles with extreme horribleness, and so. Yeah, so we got talked about a lot of gear that maybe you should avoid. And so if you've been waiting to jump on the Patreon wagon train and join the family, it's time. So we would love to have you, and we got a lot more coming up for sure. That, my friend, is all I got.
Magical times call for magical moments, and that's what we've had tonight. Thank you guys for all the fun and the love. Smash a like button, as I say. Subscribe to the podcast, Backpacking Blisters Podcast. Check out Patreon, all that stuff you know. Look, if you guys need a little quiet time, just follow Carl. He hangs out over the trowel hole. We will see you for 201. Adios. Yeah, look, I talked about Rocky and his magical black socks, and like these things give him like superpower. Like he's so fast on the trail, it's ridiculous. I can remember one trip, Red Peak Pass going uphill. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna stop and fish." Carl and I cruise ahead a good and Knowlton Cruiser had a good hour, and he passed us in what seemed like 30 minutes. So I gave Carl a pair of black knee-high socks. I was like, dude, wear these. These are going to help you in your life. And he rolled them up, and he put them under his shoulder pads because he thought it would help his shoulders.